Greetings, children. Welcome to the online classes. This is Aishwarya. Please like and subscribe the channel for the further updated videos. The following video is for class 4, subject General Science, chapter 9, Microbes. Now, this is a very interesting lesson. You will learn about microbes in detail, how they survive and how they are living and everything. So, pay attention and try to learn. Let's begin. So, what are microbes, children? What have you heard about microbes, or what are the microbes? Now, before we begin with that, let me tell you which are the smallest, or what are the smallest animals that you have seen till now? Cockroaches or mites, ants, right? These are the smallest, very smallest animals that you have seen till now, right? If you thought that these tiny insects are the smallest living things, you are wrong. There are some organisms that are so small that we cannot see them. We need a microscope to see these organisms. They are the microbes. What is the definitions of microbes? The organisms which we see under a microscope are called microorganisms or microbes. Now these microbes are very small. They're very small. We cannot see them through our eyes. They are present in the air. They are present everywhere. But you cannot see them with your naked eyes. You can't see them directly, but you can see them under a microscope. The organisms which we can see under a microscope are called microorganisms or microbes. Microbes are the largest number of living organisms on our planet. They are the largest number of living organisms because they're very small, they take very less space, and they can survive. And they are also, for a note, they are the oldest surviving organisms. Okay, there is a theory in science which says that the life on earth came into existence first in the form of these microorganisms only. Okay, they are very small, which you cannot see through your naked eyes. So we have to see it under the microscope to study them. Understood? So now when I say this, what comes to your mind as the example for microbes? One thing which we always use, and we have always been through it, is the bacterias, right? Bacterias are very helpful, and they're very small. You cannot see bacterias, but you know that they work there, right? And if you think about bakery items, all the bakeries used yeast. Okay, yeast is also a microorganisms. Okay, together it is collected and it is made into the yeast so that we can use it in our daily life. Okay, like this, microbes, we are dependent on microbes very much. Okay, microbes is in every part of the earth and is also in every living thing. They are present inside the living things also. It's not like they're only present outside, they're present inside us also. You know, one of the best examples that I can give you is the uh, curd, the formation of curd in your house. It is by the action of these bacteria only the formation of curds takes place. Understood? Now the best concept, or the best example that I can make you understand is what is happening in the world today. If we are at home, we are not able to go to school, you're not able to meet your friends, you're not able to go to your games period, you're not able to meet your family members, you're at home, you're not able to go outside. Why is that happening? It's because of the virus COVID-19, isn't it? This COVID-19 virus is also an example for a microbe or microorganism. It is very small. It can enter your body just through your eyes or your nose. In just a milliseconds, it can enter your body from any person around you. That is why we are told to wear masks and go outside, isn't it? your parents, or if you go outside also, you have to wear a mask and then go outside, right? Am I right? Yes. That COVID-19 is also a microbe. They are present everywhere. There are good microbes and there are bad microbes also. So we'll study about them later. Now, life on earth started with microbes. As I told you, we are multicellular organisms. Multicellular means there are so many units of cells in our body, but these microorganisms can be a single cell itself. The best example is an amoeba. Okay, this amoeba is a single cell which can survive on its own. It can feed, it can protect itself. It is just a single cell. We are made up of millions of cells in our body. But this single cell amoeba can survive just like how we are surviving. You're able to understand? Yes. There are many types of microbes. Okay. But we will later on study about these types of microbes, that is bacteria, virus, fungus and protozoans. uh, Bacteria's example I gave, the curd, formation of the curd. Virus, the COVID-19 which is happening. Like this we'll understand fungus and protozoans also. Okay, so let's continue with the chapter. There are some microbes which are autotrophic and some are heterotrophic. Autotrophic, autotrophic microbes. So let's first see what are these autotrophic microbes. The microbes that can make their own food like plants are called autotrophic microbes. How can you relate these words and remember? Now, plants make their own food, right? They are not dependent on animals for food. We are dependent for on the plants for food, right? That way, there are microbes which can make their own food. Auto means they are not dependent on automatically they prepare their own food. Like this you can remember, so the words you don't get confused. Okay, here in this chapter you will learn new words. So if you don't want to get confused, autotrophic, auto means automatically they make their own food. Understood? That kind of organisms are called autotrophic microbes. And the second type is the heterotrophic, heterotropic, heterotrophic microbes. What are heterotrophic microbes? Now you learned autotrophic. Autotrophic means automatically make their own food. Same way, heterotropic, they should be opposite of that, right? So what are the organisms, or what are the microbes which are opposite to making their own food? They don't make their own food and they're dependent on the other organisms for their food. So microbes that are dependent on other organisms for their food are called heterotrophic microbes. What are they called? Heterotrophic microbes. The microorganisms that depend on other organisms, like the microorganisms which are present in our stomach, they, not our stomach, inside our body, they help in the digestion of our food. Same way they also use the food. Okay, in especially if you take an example of a cow, there is, they cannot survive without those bacteria, without those microbes in their stomach. Okay, so that microbes, they help the organisms, they help the organism they're living in, and they also take use of that. Such organisms or such microbes are called the heterotrophic microbes. Now, solitary and colonial microbes, that was about feeding of the microbes, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. This one is their living capability, that means how they can live. Solitary or colonial microbes. Solitary microbes means the microbes that can live alone throughout their life is called solitary microbes. Now, for example, if you take this amoeba, you can see the picture of the amoeba on your screen. Amoeba spends its whole life alone, so it is called a solitary microbe. It is alone. It finds food on its own, it eats that food, and it survives on its own as a single cell. This amoeba is a very small single cell which can be seen only under a microscope. So such organisms or such microbes which can live alone throughout their life are called solitary microbes. Then colonial microbes, especially the fungus. As I told you, different types of microbes, right? Bacteria, fungus, then virus. I told you protozoans, right? So these fungus, they always live in colonies. If you take separate fungus, they'll also be small, but these they live together. The microbes that live in colonies are called colonial microbes. C-O-L-O-N-I-A-L. Colonial microbes. Example, fungus live in colonies depending on each other. They are dependent on each other. One catches the food means everybody feeds on that fish. They usually, this fungus or these microbes, they grow under the water. So if they capture a fish, they are dependent on each other for different things of the colony. So the microbes that live in colonies are called colonial microbes. That you understood, solitary and colonial? Yes. Next is the reproduction. When two microbes come together to reproduce, it is called sexual reproduction. When two different microbes come together to reproduce. Reproduce means produce the young one or produce a new one. It is called the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means some microbes. Here you can see a reproduction in Hydra. This is a microorganisms called Hydra which we have studied upon. Some microbes split itself to form two new pieces of itself. It is called asexual reproduction. Here in three stages you can see. In the first stage, the single hydra is standing. In the second stage, there is a bud formation. The bud itself becomes a new hydra and it splits from the mother cell. Understood? This is the formation. This is kind of a asexual reproduction. Now I hope you understood there are different types of microbes: autotrophic microbes, heterotrophic microbes, then the microbes which live alone and which live in colonies, and how they reproduce sexually and asexually. So remaining part of the, I hope it was interesting today, children. And the remaining part of the lesson we'll do it in the next class. Stay at home, stay safe, take care of yourself, stay away from the virus COVID-19. Thank you, children. And read the textbook, do the exercises in your textbook and your workbook. Take the help of your parents. Okay.